Hello everyone, I'm Julie and this is Fabled Lands. So if you haven't heard of this game before, Fabled Lands is a recent release. I downloaded it off Steam, and this game is a really cool combination of a choose-your-own-adventure novel, a turn-based battle game, and a little bit of like an old-school dice-rolling tabletop RPG. I've already kind of played around a little bit, but as soon as I started, I knew this would be a fun one to play online. So the objective here is you begin your game as a pre-made character. You can modify a little bit. So we're going to start a new game here, and we get to choose our class. So I've tried a couple different classes, so you can see there are some really cool options here. So we have our traditional warrior class, who's a very combat heavy class. The mage, obviously a magic and scouting class. The priest is pretty high in sanctity with a relatively even spread everywhere else. The rogue has high thievery, charisma, and then kind of mediocre combat and really low scouting. The Wayfarer, amazing in scouting, pretty good at thievery and combat, but a really low charisma character. And then, of course, our Troubadour, high on charisma, and then pretty average everywhere else. I think I'm going to go with a rogue for this playthrough. Not for any particular reason other than I think rogues are cool, and I think it'll be an exciting introduction when we're sneaking around and stealing stuff. You can see that you can also change your appearance a bit, and I'm going to be a female because I like being a female. And it gives you an automatic name. You can change it. I think Marana sounds cool. We'll stick with Marana. We have a few different head options here. Head 1, Head 2, Head 3. I'm feeling this one. We can change her sword as well. So we have this sword that's pretty traditional looking, a more curved scimitar-esque sword, and a very pointy one. I'm always going to choose a very pointy, sharp sword a la Needle from Game of Thrones. I just think it's so cool looking. We can change what's on her belt, so we have some what might look like smoke bombs or grenades, we have some poison vials, and then we have a scabbard with like a little pouch. I super dig the poison vials. And then what is this? Oh my gosh, we can have a cute little pet. Okay. So we can have a cute little rat friend, a little snake friend, or a little lizard friend. Ooh, this is tough. I mean, or we can have no friend, but what's the joy in that? I'm gonna go with the little rat friend because I live in Chicago and there are rats everywhere, so why not? You can't change your starting skills, so we start with a shadow dash and a poisonous vial. I like it. It fits our aesthetic here. And then you set your difficulty when you begin. So Explorer is your very story-based mode, really easy combat. They give you a lot of stamina, which is your health. Adventurer and Champion are sort of your medium and hard, and then Iron Man is your merciless mode. I think for the sake of this playthrough, we're going to do Explorer. So we will have the opportunity to maybe fail a little bit more without having to create a new character. So let's get started. So this is like such a text-heavy game. There is no dialogue, no recorded dialogue, so I guess you're gonna have to listen to me read. My apologies. So, the Isle of Druids. You are alone in an open boat waiting for death. How your life has changed since that day when you set out from your homeland across the unbounded ocean. You had signed on board a ship with the hope of visiting a dozen ports and seeing 1,000 wonders, but calamity overtook your voyage in the first week when pirates swooped down upon the vessel. You and a handful of shipmates managed to get the cutter down into the water and were making off, but some of the pirates leapt in down the rail right into your midst. The fighting was hard. You remember little of it now, but when it was over, the boat was awash with blood, and you were the only one left alive. Of your own ship and the pirates' craft there was no sign. The current had carried you out of sight of any living thing. So we're going to continue. Best not to think how you've survived since then. At the mercy of the wind and sea currents, you have been swept steadily westwards into regions completely unknown to you. Drinking water has been your biggest problem. You've had to rely on rain, and there's been none for days. Your body is weak, your spirits low. Then, just as death seems ready to draw his boat alongside, you see something that kindles new hope. White clouds, birds turning high above, the gray hump of land on the horizon. Steering toward the shore, you feel the cutter lurch as it enters rough water. The wind whips up plumes of spindrift and breakers pound the cliffs. The tiller is yanked out of your hands. The little boat is spun around, out of control, and goes plunging toward the coast. You leap clear at the last second. There's the snap of timber, the roaring crescendo of the waves, and then silence as you go under. Striking out wildly, you try to swim clear, then suddenly a wave catches you and flings you contemptuously onto the beach. It's time to begin your adventure. Battered and bedraggled, you lie gasping for breath until you hear someone walking along the shore toward you. Wary of danger, you lose no time in getting to your feet. Confronting you is an old man clad in a dirty loincloth. His eyes have a feverish, bright look that is suggestive of either a mystic or a madman. "Well, well, well, what have we here, friends?" asked the old man. He seems to be talking to someone next to him, although you're certain he's alone. "Looks like a washed-up adventurer to me," he says in an answer of his own question, "all wet and out of luck." He carries on having a conversation that quickly turns into a heated debate. He's clearly quite mad. excuse me, you shout above the hubbub in an attempt to grab the old man's attention. He stops and stares at you. "Is this the Isle of the Druids?" you ask impatiently. "Indeed it is," says the old man. "I see that you're from a far land, so it is up to me to welcome you to Harkuna. But I think you may have much to do here, as it is written in the stars that someone like you would come. Your destiny awaits you. Follow me, young adventurer." The old man turns smartly about and begins walking up a path towards some hills. You can just see some sort of monolithic stone structure atop one of them. Okay, so here we get our first choice. So we can follow him, we can scour the remnants washed ashore, or we can explore the island on our own. So as we're role-playing as a rogue, I think it's really cool if Marana here tries to collect as many items as she can, try to turn them into money as much as she can, whatever it is. So we're going to scour the remnants washed ashore. You find a small vial holding a reddish concoction. You bless your good fortune when you recognize it's a healing potion. Oh, heck yeah. So we got a healing potion, and it's now in my inventory. And we can choose to either follow the old man or explore the island on our own. Well, let's follow the old man. We might be loners, but we're not stupid. Or maybe we are, I don't know. During your short trip upward, the old man regales you with tales of your destiny and fate, continuously arguing with himself as he does so. Alright, so this is the first time we can go somewhere on our map. The only place we can go right now, it appears, are the obsidian stones, so let's pop over there and see what happens. You reach a hill covered with a circle of large obsidian standing stones. Despite the bitter wind that blows across these hills, the stones are unweathered and seem mostly newly lain. "Here are the gates of the world," says the old man. The stones are laid in such a way that they form 3 archways, each carven with mystic symbols and runes of power. "Each gate will take you to a part of the world of Harkuna, though I know not where," explains the old man. Abruptly, he turns around and sets off down the hill, babbling to himself. His voice fades as he descends the hill, leaving you alone with the brooding stones and the howling wind. Okay, we will continue. There are 3 stones engraved with ancient runes. Each gate is marked with a name: Yellowport, Marlock City, and Wishport. From here you can see the coast and the whole island, which is heavily forested. Okay, so we can either step through one of the archways or explore the island. I can see on the map that there's like a little town over here, and I'm sure I could steal a bunch of stuff, or I would like to be able to steal a bunch of stuff. So let's explore the island further. So you decide to explore the island further and ponder where to go next. You have a clear view from the top of the hill of one of the northern parts of the island, and you notice a previously unknown to you road that snakes along the cliff tops. Alright, so we can go somewhere. So we can go down to this forest, we can go back to the beach, or we can go up this coastal road. Man, these question marks are calling my name. So we're gonna go there. Oh, okay, cool. So we get our first dice roll. So whenever you get one of these, you roll the dice, and then whatever you roll, it gives you sort of what your path is from there. So you are on a coastal road that snakes along the wind-swept cliff tops in the north of Isle of Druids. So we're gonna roll our dice and see what we get. So we rolled a 6. And we're gonna meet a militia patrol. Okay. These militiamen are employed by the mercantile guilds of Marlock City and Yellowport to keep the roads safe. If you're worried about thieves, you should invest in a townhouse and leave some of your money at home, advises the militia sergeant. Or better still, invest at the Merchants Guild, suggests the captain. Okie dokie. That's it. That's all we got. Okay. Let's go to the forest, maybe? Let's see what happens in the forest. The trees are closely packed, leaning together as if in conference, whispering quietly among themselves. Birds twitter in the distance, and slivers of sunlight lance down through the musty gloom. As you proceed along a forest track, you think you hear a rustling in the bushes. Later, you spot a shadowy figure darting through the trees. Or was that your imagination? An animal snuffling sound right behind you makes you spin around, but there's nothing there. So this is our first, skill check. So we're going to make a scouting roll. So our scouting is at a 4, which isn't great, and we don't have any special bonuses. We have a difficulty of 10, and then our odds of success are 58.33. So not awesome, but not terrible. What do we get? Oh, yeah! We successfully got a scouting roll there. Okay. So you struggle deeper into the forest until you come to a thick wall of impenetrable thorn bushes. Circling it, you find there is a break in the hedge, but it's filled by a large tree. To your surprise, a face forms in the trunk and speaks in a woody voice, "None can pass. Begone, human." Alright, so we can go to the nearest settlement, we can attack the tree, or we can try to persuade you to let it pass. Or let us pass, I guess. I'm too curious. Okay, we're gonna see if we can pass. I explain what a tree lover I am, or Maruna does. Whatever, it's me. I'm a tree lover. And that your heart has always been at home in forests. You portray yourself as the greenest adventurer ever. So we're making a charisma roll. And so I have a charisma of 7, a difficulty of 10. So our success is pretty high, 91.67. So let's see what we got. An 11. Okay, so we succeeded there. Well, I suppose I could let one such as you through, says the tree thoughtfully. Then it uproots itself with a great tearing sound and shuffles out of the way. There you go, says the tree, you may pass. You walk through the thorn bush gate. Beyond, you find several huge oak trees whose branches are so big that they're able to support the homes of many people. What happens? Ooh, we've unlocked the City of Trees. I want to live in a city of trees. Are you kidding me? Oh my gosh. Welcome to the City of Trees, says a passing woman dressed in the garb of a druid. Oh my god, I found the druids. My people. The city has been built amid the branches of several mighty oaks. Ladders run up and down the trees to houses that perch like nests in the branches. You're not allowed into any houses, but the druids allow you to barter at the market. Oh, I want to be one of you. Okay, so we have a market here. You can see we have 400 shards, which is the currency here. Our current weaponry is a katana that does 3 to 5 damage. And we have no shield. We have very basic armor that has a defense of 1 and no ranged weapons. So we could purchase some kind of additional weapon. I would obviously want it to be a melee if I'm replacing my melee that has a higher damage, but I don't think any of these do. 1 to 2, 3 to 5, 2 to 5, 1 to 3. No. So there's really no point in that. Leather armor. They do have a better armor for 100 gold, so I'm gonna buy that. Sorry, shards, not gold. Okay, and let us talk to the druid's leader. You were brought before the druid's leader, the oak druid, a bearded fellow with earth and leaves all tangled up in his hair. I think I'm in love. He asked you to perform a service for them. Take this oak staff to the willow druid in the forest of Laroon. The sacred grove where he lives will be hard to find, but I'm sure you can do it. The willow druid will give you something to bring back to me. When you return with it, I will make your techniques of tracking and your wilderness lore better. Oh, okay. So now we have a quest. So I accept the task at hand. You remind yourself to take the oak staff on the way out. So now we have this oak staff. And then the woman, again, welcomes us to the City of Trees. Okay. So that's all we can do here, and actually that looks like we're kind of on time. So next time, let's go see if we can find this willow druid and give them the staff and see what happens. Looking forward to our next adventure together, friends, and have a wonderful day. Bye.